it's Wendy Hernandez with Command the Courtroom. In this week's video, I want to talk with you about choosing your witnesses wisely. In your custody case or divorce case or family law case, you're probably going to have more than one witness who could come to court and testify on your behalf. But just because you have one witness or 10 witnesses doesn't mean that all of those witnesses should testify or even one of those witnesses should testify. You have to talk to the people who could potentially have something to say on your behalf and figure out whether there really would be a good witness. One of the things that a judge is going to look at in making decisions about your situation is the credibility of witnesses. So although a witness may have something good to say about you, that person may be terrible on the stand, or they may be very nervous, they may clam up, they may not express themselves very well. So you have to figure that in deciding how to present the best case you can to the judge. And the reason I want to talk about this topic today is because I just had an experience yesterday afternoon, and it was in a different type of case. It was a criminal case, which that year, many moons ago, I practiced criminal law. I was a prosecutor for a few years, and after I quit the prosecutor's office, I went on and did criminal defense work, and I defended all types of cases from speeding tickets and possession of marijuana cases all the way to murder cases. So one of my family law clients who's going through a divorce actually had criminal charges that were filed against him by his soon-to-be ex-wife, and he asked me to defend him since I have experience in this area. So I said, okay. And one of the charges against him was a really serious charge. It was, she had said that he had threatened to kill her and stab her and shoot her and do all these horrible things to her. And the other charge, the less serious charge, was a disturbing the peace charge. So anyway, yesterday all afternoon into the evening, actually the court ran late, we were in trial. And the victim and her daughter testified against my client, and their testimony was just horrible. They were all over the place. They were inconsistent. They couldn't remember things. They were remembering things differently than they had reported them to the police officers, and they just, I think, made a total mess of their case. On top of that, my client's wife was testifying. Her family was at the back of the courtroom, and they were coaching her on what to say during her testimony, meaning they were nodding their head when they wanted her to say yes when I was asking her questions, and they were shaking their heads when they wanted her to say no. And actually, it was the judge that noticed this and brought this to the attorney's attention, and the judge wasn't happy about it, and the judge kicked the family out of the courtroom as the wife was on the stand testifying. And I believe that it affected the judge's perception of the wife's credibility in the long run. So by the time the state had finished presenting its case, I think that the witnesses had done a fantastic job for my client in terms of making a mess out of the case. So I had planned on having my client, the defendant, I had planned to have him testify. And we had prepared, we had practiced in my office, I had written up questions for him. But in criminal cases, it's the state's burden to prove that the defendant is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And when the state had finished its case, I didn't think that they had done that. So my client was faced with a big decision about whether or not he should testify. And it was my advice to him that I didn't think that he needed to testify. I think the other side had said it all, which was not enough in this particular situation. So my client decided not to testify, acting with my advice. And what happened was the judge found him not guilty on the serious charge of threatening and intimidating to kill the wife. The judge did find that my client had disturbed the peace. He and the wife had engaged in an argument in front of the daughter, and the judge found that he had disturbed the peace of the daughter, but that was a less serious charge. My client was sentenced to a minimum sentence, which was really, there's not a lot. He was ordered to attend counseling, and it may just be 1 or 2 sessions. So all in all, it was a good result. But it just got me thinking about witnesses. And in your case, I'm not suggesting that you don't testify, because you do have a story to tell if you're one of the parties in a case, if you're the mother or the father of your children, or if you're the husband or the wife in the divorce. You're going to have to tell your side of the story. So in a family law case, I don't think a party not testifying is really an option. But what you do have options about is the other witnesses who might testify for you. And while they may have good stuff to say about you, they may not be good witnesses, or they may not add anything to what you have to say. So really consider very carefully who you're going to want to testify. Pick the best people. In most of my family law cases, I don't have a parade of witnesses who are testifying. I really narrowed things down to the 1, 2, 3, or 4 people who I think would best represent my client's story, and that's who I have testify, and I get to the point. So I hope this video helped. If you haven't already signed up for my best interest checklist, go to commandthecourtroom.com and you can sign up for it there. And on that list, I give you all kinds of information about the types of info that you need to present to the judge so he or she can make the right decision in your case. If you haven't subscribed to the Command the Courtroom YouTube channel, be sure and do that now. That way you'll get notified when I release a video. And it's my practice to release a video every week. I took a little break over the holidays, but I am back. We are set to release videos every Thursday. And don't forget to like Command the Courtroom on Facebook. I also post the videos on there. Until next week, keep on trucking and remember to command the courtroom.